Got the water. Ancestors doing the daggone thing. We got mountains, so we know ancestors around the way. Striving to hold the signal. Today, getting the supernatural UVs. A lot of people, try to warn against the UVs and have sunblock on. Don't wear sunglasses, y'all. That messes up your pineal gland. You forget you don't have memories as clear as you ought to. That's why wearing glasses, it fucks with your memories. Alright? Yeah. What up? Jumping into it, man. Because this whole little shit about the Chi-Town thing, I had to jump into that. This Chi-Town, that's one of the homes away from homes right there. You know what I'm saying? And so, true black folk from Chicago know the potential of what Chicago can actually do and how we can actually come together there in a big city format. But it's a lot of killing that came down. You know what I mean? It's a lot of murder, death, kills that went down in Chicago. And we have to pretty much address this type of situation. I'm looking over here. What's going on? We have to address this. Because it's been times and times that we have been trying to address the whole killing situation. And we've just been met with nothing. Sad situation. So it's like, what is Amaru to do in the city, You gotta think about this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it, man. I'm waiting on the motherfucker to walk past me and shit, so he's trying to be slick. Listen, see. Must be ear hustling, man. They be like, what the hell is this nigga saying over there? What is he saying over there? Yeah, it's all gonna be stemmed around this cluster B personality now, So, the whole little response to the Chicago situation of like, okay, you don't want none of this, and it's like, I don't like to put my brothers and sisters on blast, but you gotta understand this is a spiritual war that's going on in the world right now. It's a whole bunch of spirituality teams that's taking place over Amaru. A lot of things. When I say a lot of things, you wonder like, damn, how did we get to a certain point? How did we get to this point where it's like, it's hella racist. People got so many gangs, and the gangs are not about empowering the neighborhood anymore. Protecting the women and the children from, unlawful police enforcement. We don't have none of that anymore. And a lot of things went down in the 60s. We know that the government put their hand in on certain situations as far as, our political prisoners and shit. So we have to, acknowledge that type of situation. However, it's real tight on that ass right now. Because when we're dealing with the situations with this Chicago and the hoods and talking about, hey, you better not come here because it's this, that, and the third. It's almost like they're enforcing or saying like, we want to keep on killing. We want to keep on doing our murder, death, kills and shit like that. You gotta understand, these beings that's saying that, they're very young and they're under influence of other druids, other spirits. Chicago's been under influence of a lot of different spirits because a whole bunch of Cabbage Patch came there. A whole lot of different nationalities came to Chicago. So with those nationalities come druids or spirits. Everybody got their own little spirits that come with them and shit, And these spirits can either influence you to do the wrong thing or the thing that'll hinder your elevation, or things that'll help inspire you to be your best self, depending on what you are and how your natal chart plays out, how strong you are, mentally, spiritually, and physically. But in Chicago, there's gangsters going on. You got Al Capone. They're Italian, but look at the Italian that they are. These people were killing themselves, doing drive-bys and all this shit. So this is where we seen, or people in Chicago, because Chicago's like a second home. My mama, what I'm saying, they live in Chicago and stuff like that. So, and we had to go through there. But it's just the fact that we're not really using the gangs for, the positive and political, aspect of keeping our neighborhoods safe, walking our women and children to the stores and protecting them, having our own schools. Because when I came up, I went to a vice lord school. It was a vice lord school. It was what you call a school when you get kicked out of the main school. I went to one of those schools. And so it was everybody there that was lords, you know what I'm saying? And Blackstone and shit like that. You got the pyramid in there with the shepherd cane and all of that, you know, and it was deep, and they had leaders and shit. But however though, you know, they try to dismantle that because it was positive for us in the neighborhood to go there and have somewhere to go. And we had a store that we can go to get, you know, fries all night long because we, you know, we didn't, our parents were like on crack and shit. So the gang took up, even if you wasn't even on the gang, you still benefited from it if you're in the neighborhood, because it's like, in the Lord's neighborhood, it's like, yo, the police, they'll mess with you. You have to be like 4 deep. And me and my homies used to be 4 deep all the time, so they had to have like 2 squad cars to fuck with us or something like that. If you're walking down the street, they just shine the light on you, you know. But if you just like walking 1 deep, 2 deep, they can really be on you. So we was educating things of that nature. But now when you got people just shooting up, murder, death, kill, bang, bang, it's like, you're gonna let us do this. You don't want none of this. It's like, you gotta understand, these people are trained killers, man. And if they're not, they trained to shoot at certain objects. You haven't had bombs thrown at you and shit yet, you know? A lot of people is fed up. And so with this energy, the Most High is striving to cleanse out this, the foreigners or whatnot, you know, because they got spirits along with them that they're bringing in that's influencing and enticing the chosen ones of the land. It's making the land unholy. So this is the best thing that could possibly go down, really, because there's no other way. If we can't come up there and take care of the shit with the little niggas and take them and say, yo, who's doing all the whoop whoop, and we going to go snatch them all up, and we train them this, that, and the third. And we can't do it. We gotta let the goddamn old government come in and do it. It's like the Most High is using the enemy or whatnot to get things done, to clean the land out. So we gotta have patience when it comes to this, man. You know, the whole Chicago situation that they're bracing up, what are you gonna do? You're gonna run out of ammo. These people make ammo all the time. I mean, they sit up and they train. Their job is to go kill every day, or to shoot, or to do something to escalate some shit. They don't negotiate with terrorists. You know, I'm not saying to be scared of them, because I've seen these type of people that's in authority shoot at unarmed people, you know, with rubber bullets and rubber guns. I came out of Minneapolis. I already know. The motherfuckers had the whole shit locked down. They only had 1 police station because everybody burned up the other police stations and shit. So it got real serious in Minneapolis, you know. And but yeah, when you have grenades and everything coming into play, it's different. So with this energy that's in Chicago, it's like, yeah, it's got to lift up and make Chicago sunny again. Chicago's a beautiful city. It's a city that has greenery in it, but we don't experience it because it's this cloud that always be over. It's like a spell that's over Chicago that nobody can get out. And I had to take a female about Chicago to show they got money in Chicago. It's all about money, but when they get out, so they can spend it and see how the life is and show their, you know, because Chicago people are very charismatic, very talented, can sing, man, some of the most beautiful voices you'll ever hear in your life. All that area, Detroit, Chicago, you know what I'm saying, the Midwest, man, you know what I mean? And so, you know, that whole little like cleansing out them spirits to get these foreigners away, so we can be able to pinpoint who's who, which energy is what, who is like the actual cluster B personality. Do you have a pathological disorder, meaning it's an ongoing? Are you really sick like that? Like or are you trait? Do you have traits? Because some individuals, we gotta catch up on it. We gotta get it, man. Because if we want a change to come, you know, you can't really influence these children, because they're children growing to be young men with guns and switches or whatever you want to call it, to make you be afraid. I came from the generation, I was a young nigga too. And I was a young nigga that was the first of the young niggas doing the shit. And so I understand you can actually grow out of it. A lot of my friends wouldn't even have known what 18 felt like, what 17 felt like, you know, 16. You know, a lot of my friends, they wouldn't, 14, they wouldn't know what that felt like. You know, and I'm able to talk about it, that you can get to a certain point, a certain aspect where you can continue to learn and cultivate your gifts, your skills, your talents, and your, shout out to sis, and also, you know, you can cultivate your spirit as you grow. You don't have to be in the hood, because we lack, you know, love, really. I came from a generation where we lack love. You know, you wasn't really hugging on people like that. People didn't really hug you. You know, my parents didn't hug me like that. So I know a lot of my friends' parents didn't get hugged like that, or didn't get hugged from their parents. And some of them did. But when you got a situation where it's like, okay, it got to a point where these murders are happening all the time, like it's a video game, they thinking that mother's gonna respawn up somewhere else. It's like they're being influenced by Druids, very low spiritual beings, spiritual people, or not people, but, you know, spirits. that vibrate and only know how to, you know, descend. They don't know how to ascend, and if they won't, even if they tried, it's hard for them to do. A lot of these spirits has never even had a chance to live a corporeal life, a physical life, meaning that they were aborted when they were in the womb. And so that spirit continued to evolve and mess with other spirits while they're on the earth plane. And so these spirits, they run all over the place. I'm saying, what the hell that flash over there? You know what I mean? These spirits run rampant all over the place, all over the earth plane. And so they influence a lot of people. And if you're in a big old city, they influence more people in those cities to do drastic and hellish shit. Like murder, death, kills, robbings, and stealings, and, you know, to get you to do all kind of things, man. I'm looking over here to the left. To the left. Left, I'm tucked down pretty low, so much shouldn't be really up on me unless I gotta walk down here. So yeah, that situation, man, as far as like with the Chi-Town, I just like, you know, it's kind of sad for everyone to see like they're bracing up to go there, to brace up to, you know, protect the city and march, you know, as far as like to stop the actual National Guard for coming there. It's not going to really do anything. We have to change up something in Chicago right now, man. It's the heartbeat of the nation, really. All the trains lead right to the center there. So as many people travel through there, man, it's a lot of spirits, man. That shit got to get cleansed up. And so when we're standing and protesting, and we should have learned from California too, not to protest. We don't need to protest and that. That's just sit your ass down and let shit happen and go do what it do, man. You know, it's a serious time right now. A lot of niggas really ain't supposed to be doing nothing but studying and being the best them that they can be. If you really ain't got shit to do shit, let the divine start to reveal these things. Let the divine start to reveal it, man. Alright, what's up, Dougie Dub? You about ready for something? Y'all want something? Y'all want something? Yeah, so gotta keep the vibe high, y'all. And for those who are like, you know, Israelites, I like to say, man, bam, y'all should go, we should all be celibate and pay them tithes every month. Doing it right now. Been doing it for some years now. We're not playing, so it is dying true. Let me see if I got something. I'm trying to get them something to eat. Yeah, they always try to make some type of news out of something. But with that whole situation with the Chi-Town, with Chicago situation, man, the spell is being broken in Chicago, man. A lot of things going down now. It's like, yo, man, we can't have all this. Because if we let it be the way it is, it'll be like that for forever. Shit, something's gonna change. They're gonna let it be like that for forever. Unless y'all cool, unless people's cool with, you know, the murder, death, killing situations. Alright. So yeah, y'all. Just wanted to chime in on that. That just shows the display of the cluster B personality. Which is like, you know, basically crazy dysfunctioning personality disorder. And when you're exposed to like a certain group of people or a person who has it, it can damn near make you crazy. I don't know if you ever heard of a thing like, man, it's a crazy making motherfucker. That's the cluster B personality disorder. Mug can make it crazy, emotionally manipulative and shit. Steve. Alright, y'all, I love you. And I'll be with you in the next one. Peace.